Yeah, that's right. Robert Lighthizer, Liu He's counterpart when it comes to these negotiations, the US Trade Representative, announcing this literally as Liu He's in the air on the way back to Beijing, that the rest of Chinese imports, around $300 billion, could be next in terms of tariffs. Now, that process will take a while. It begins on Monday. They'll need to consult businesses, but it will affect huge amounts of consumer goods. And if they go to 25%, it really will be incredible. And this has been an incredible just over 24 hours, really, in negotiations. Let's take a look back. Handshakes and waves in front of the cameras. After 11 rounds of trade talks, the Chinese and US negotiators know each other well. But these negotiations stood little chance. At midnight Friday, tariffs on $200 billion worth of Chinese imports rose from 10% to 25%. As the talks started, China's Vice Premier Liu He indicated negotiating under such a cloud was unlikely to produce results.
I came here with good faith and sincerity. Under the current circumstances, we hope to exchange views with our U.S. counterparts in a rational, candid manner. China believes additional tariffs are not the way to solve the problem.
The first round of talks Thursday lasted little over an hour. There was a dinner, but even that was brief. Negotiations resumed Friday morning, but that meeting too was short. By then, the US tariffs had already kicked in, and the US president had already started tweeting, spinning his latest turnaround on trade talks. There is absolutely no need to rush, he said, as tariffs are now being paid to the United States by China of 25% on $250 billion worth of goods and products. These massive payments go directly to the Treasury of the US. Correction, US importers pay the tariffs. The higher costs get passed on to US businesses and eventually to US consumers.
We don't have to do business with them. We don't have to do business. We can make the product right here if we have to.
While the US president argues that tariffs work, economic theory and trade figures suggest otherwise. Before heading back to Beijing, Liu He shared his thoughts on the way forward.
The talks didn't break down. Both sides clarified each other's stances and discussed the content for the next round of consultations. Both sides also maintained relatively good communication and cooperation. Therefore, I don't think the talks broke down. On the contrary, it's normal to have minor setbacks or detours in talks. It's inevitable. We're cautiously optimistic.
Chinese exporters will be hit, of course, but so too will US companies and farmers who thought the pain may come to an end soon. China said it will respond with countermeasures to the latest US tariffs. We await the details. So, you know, Mike, before this latest announcement that the US was readying to very quickly to put tariffs on the rest of Chinese imports, another $300 billion, you could have thought perhaps the raising of the tariff was a last-minute negotiating ploy by the Trump administration to extract concessions. But what we are facing now with these latest tariffs and the prospect of more is a protracted trade war.
Nathan King at the White House, thanks so much.